Hello and welcome to another Wargame AirLand Battle video. This time we're on the map Goal. It's a 2v2 Conquest. I joined this game as a random. I knew General Joff, actually I saw his name and I joined it to randomly join this game. When I joined I noticed he was playing a Mystic. I know these two players, they're two really good players. They cooperate, they're both on TeamSpeak. So I thought, well, if I get some noob random, I'm going to lose this game. So I put a call out for a couple of friends and along came LMC. He's a good player, very good player. So I was very pleased he came along and I knew we'd have a chance against these guys. We're not voice chatting, we're actually just pinging our orders around. So I decided that I was going to take up to the left hand side and Alan MC was going to go up I was going to go up the right hand side and Alan MC was going to go up the left. So I had to take India and I really had to take Echo as well in order to secure this road along here and to control the area north of Echo. Alan MC, he had to take Golf and also was going to push and try and take this little town here to the northwest of Gulf. I'm playing a Russian deck and LMC, a Russian mixed deck, and LMC is also playing a Russian mixed deck. And General Joff, he's playing a British deck and he's also sending some airborne infantry out, and Mystic, he's got a few airborne infantry. A lot of airborne infantry actually, and he's playing the USA deck. So they're doing an airborne charge at the start. We're sending more ground units. I actually did make, well, it could be called a mistake. We did have some benefits, but I took out 3 Akulas at the start. Very, very dangerous strategy. These are very expensive. I don't tend to use them anymore. I used them in this game, but I have swapped them since then because they've only got like 2 rockets for anti-air and 2 rockets for like shooting at armoured vehicles and tanks, so they're not over effective even though they have got long range and anti-air capability. So off we go. This is a nice map, this guy's 2v2 map, lots of opportunities for flanking on the sides. Not a lot of flanking goes on in this game, but there are opportunities to flank if you want to try and do it on this map. So my Akulas take off north. The CV and anti-air take off north. I've also got an anti-tank gun squad and some infantry put into Echo. A Phantom drops some napalm straight away just south of Foxtrot just to try and stop LMC putting units into this town while General Joff sends his units in. The Akulas managed to snipe a couple of these. I do send them straight across when I see this airborne attack. I do manage to snipe a couple of units before one of them is taken out by this tornado and another one is taken out by these OHs before a couple of these OHs are taken out by RMC's Tunguskas coming up from the south. So I did actually lose 2 Akulas, which was a pretty heavy loss right at the start of the game. However, it did help LMC push into this town, and he's now got quite a lot of infantry in this town, whereas General Joff's only got Royal Marines, and he's got some sappers in there, he's got some local Strelkeys, some more sappers coming in, and we'll see dispatch of the remains of the Royal Marines and LMC gets a nice control of this town, and General Joff thinks twice about throwing in infantry because they're just going to get slaughtered. So we've got control of this spawn point. I managed to get Echo in the meantime. I put some Conquest anti-tank gun squads into Echo. They can control this whole area north of Echo and will shoot at and notice any units coming down these 2 roads. I also put some infantry in case they attack with infantry and tanks. So I haven't got a lot of recon on the right. I'm not too bothered about recon. All I'm bothered about this stage is getting units into Foxtrot. So as soon as I get this, I tend to push units into Foxtrot. They're also, as you can see, starting to push units into Foxtrot. They have one problem in that if they come straight out of this spawn point, they're in danger of getting sniped. So they do have to micro their units all the way around the back of Charlie into Foxtrot, or bring their units in from Bravo, whereas myself and LMC can bring our units straight down this road into Foxtrot, and it helps us a bit in the game. I'm also bringing up a CV into Foxtrot to start accruing ourselves some points. They did get a little bit of a lead, 96 points to 6, but that's only because we got Foxtrot. We've made a few more units. We spent more points on units just so that we could push a little bit at the start, and then we made a CV and put it into Golf anyway to neutralise the points. So we're not in a bad position. We're pushing Spetsnaz into Foxtrot. They're pushing assault engineers into Foxtrot. Spetsnaz will assault assault engineers. The Spetsnaz win that battle against the assault engineers, but lose the next battle against another set of assault engineers that are coming in. Both assault engineers and Spetsnaz really good in forested areas. BMPTs are also really good in forest areas. I believe I soon send BMPTs into the forest as well. I'm sending in more Spetsnaz, trying to get this CV into Fox. I didn't realise it doesn't actually fit anywhere along this ridge line, which is what I was trying to do. The more Spetsnaz that we match up there, I do eventually get it stuck down there somewhere. So, LMC's managed to snipe a few units off, come across into Foxtrot, so they're good. I'm also trying to micro these choppers around to try and shoot some of their infantry. It is difficult microing choppers around in forested areas because they don't have a decent line of sight fire. I managed to do it on a few occasions. If you put some chieftains in there, they don't get very far. So I haven't got a lot of recon up on the right, and we haven't got a massive amount of recon on the left either for this chopper, which is spotting for anything coming down the right side. I'm not too bothered about recon on this side at the moment because my primary objective, as I've said, is to get as many units as I can to Foxtrot. Notice a load of wrongdoing. Luckily I can do choppers on hand. You can see them there. If I just quickly look at their perspective, they can't see this CV. And that helps us a little bit in the game because they can't see it, they can't artillery it very easily unless they try and do it blind. So we eventually managed to dispatch of these Marines here. I'm bringing a couple of Nonnas, or Nonas, I'm not sure how you pronounce that, and just start pounding their positions. And I'll bring in some more Nonas later. These do a really good job of just suppressing anything that's coming, trying to make its way into Foxtrot. So they're pushing units into Foxtrot, we're pushing units into Foxtrot. Now the big battle area seems to be Foxtrot, but we have control of Foxtrot. They've not really got anywhere safe that they can put a CV in Foxtrot to neutralise our CV. So the only way they can do it is to either snipe our CV out of Foxtrot or to gain a good foothold in Foxtrot so that they can put their own CV where we can't see it. So not much happening at the moment, just people pushing in. If I do put it to neutral view, you can see there are an awful lot of units on the map, and they are bringing in Zippos, anti-air infantry, more infantry, pushing lots of infantry. They've got these chieftains which they soon push in as well, and they do bring other units down. They're also pushing some infantry down this road, but luckily LMC has thought of that and he's positioned a few infantry of his own in this tree line just for such an eventuality. So he does see them about now, starts firing. I don't think they unload. They do unload. In fact, and there's a little skirmish down around here. There's got some sappers here, which turned out to be quite useful. In the meantime, over at Foxtrot, the battle continues for this northwestern part of Foxtrot. I do try to push up some reconnaissance on the right hand side. He's got some reconnaissance of his own in these forests which tries to take out my MI9. I do manage to pull that MI9 back. A tornado attacks my other recon that's trying to make its way over to the northeast of Delta, and that does eventually get shot down by a Harrier. Thus. So we've got this, still got this little skirmish going on down here. He's bringing some more units in, LMC, to deal with this little push on the right hand side. LMC has also noticed units trying to flank around on the north end of Foxtrot, probably to try and cut us off in this area. We're also pushing Marines in, but I've got Spetsnaz there to deal with those Marines. I've also got a BMPT in this forest just to check and notice when and if it does try to come over the north side of Foxtrot. Down here, LMC has reinforced this area and managed to deal with this little push that General Joff made down our left hand side, and he's regained control of this little area of forest here, which is really good. So you can see that one of their players, well obviously one of the US deck, laid down a bit of napalm, and they do start attacking that area again momentarily. We've still got our CV in there, they still haven't spotted our CV, so they still can't get rid of it. We're now in the lead, 136 points to 96. I've also put a few infantry units here because I did notice their recon there, which means they might be trying to push down on our right side. So I just put some Spetsnaz and some infantry, there's some Tunguska there as well, just to prevent the spawn point here coming into Echo. Because this road really is key. We've got to keep this road. If we lost this road, then we may well lose the game. I also bring out another CV. This is an insurance policy. So I've got two CVs now in Echo, so if they attack Echo and take out one of the CVs, or if they spot one of the CVs and take it out with artillery, we've still got another one in Echo. I've also got it on standby. If they do manage to snipe this CV in Fox, I've got another one to bring in almost immediately. So there's another Nighthawk going in. Spetsnaz doing a good job. Some T-72s from RNC. Cheap tanks, pretty good up close. See, they are bringing in quite a lot of infantry. I've got some Niners here pounding this area just to try and keep their attacks back, keep their infantry stunned, or even kill some of their infantry. And I bring in another 3 Niners as well to try to make the impact of our mortars even more. We're also trying to push in through these trees as well. I know there's some fire in there. My Spetsnaz go in for the kill as well. So it's going okay. It's got a couple of tornadoes coming in for a bombing run. So everything's pretty much under control. He seems to have lost his recon on the left to somebody. Looking okay on the right. We're still pushing in, bringing in more BMPTs. He's marked the enemy artillery. I'm not sure if he ever get those mortars. I think he tried to get the mortars. In fact, I fire on their mortars there. These Niners are really good. I see them in lots of people's decks. They're they're probably one of the most effective sets of mortars in the game. The German mortars, which is probably what for NATO have got. Oh, no, they haven't got German mortars. It's got British, but yeah, the German mortars are pretty good as well. So now they start to send in a few tanks. So you notice they're tanks. So their tanks could easily push through into this forest. So to counter the tanks, we do try to bring in some choppers. And again, it's difficult to micro choppers around here in the forest. But we do manage to get some, as another Nighthawk comes in, we do manage to get some shots. I bring in this chopper here. These are quite weak choppers. Eventually we'll bring in some ATGM choppers. I'll try to bring in my Akula. I think there's a SU-27 there. Oh, here it comes. So I'll bring in an anti-tank gun chopper just to try and take on the tanks, which I managed to get into a position to do. And another Mi-24 comes in to do the same thing, basically. So you managed to push back these tanks. However, if I put it to neutral, they are bringing in quite a lot more tanks. They're bringing in some Abrams, they've got more chieftains here, they've got all these push in as well. So look, some of these choppers do get taken out. And I don't know if I managed to get this one out with a good strike. LMC also brings in a chopper. Mortars coming in. And we managed to push back that tank attack. But you can see they've gained a little bit of ground here. So they did push us back a little bit. We're a bit thin on the ground. These Strellas aren't going to do anything against infantry. All we've got now is some Spetsnaz, BMPTs, and LMCs with some DDD infantry in. So I bring in some PT90s. These are cheap, not brilliantly armoured, but they can do a fair amount of damage if they can get close enough. It's basically a cheap type of tank. So bring them in, split them up, and just push them across this tree line just to try to counteract their tanks. And you can see the 4 chieftains coming in. Battle 8 chieftains. PT90s go to do battle with the chieftains, and the Nonas keep pounding just to try to stump them up a little bit before their attack. I've also got some Nexaitos. They take out a couple of my PT90s, I believe. These managed to hold the enemy and hold them back out of Foxtrot. Get some BMPTs moving up, DDDs as well, 4 chieftains up in the north there. But we are holding them. More PT90s coming out. I don't know why there's a Buratino so close. He does move it back. I think he actually moved it down his road. So the only danger at the moment are these Abrams and chieftains. There doesn't seem to be much else coming into the forest currently. Everything else is looking under control. No sneaky attacks occurring. I do push forward these empty trucks. This is Conquest. Push forward the empty stuff. Pushes up their ammo. The choppers trying to hit anything through the gap in the trees. Saracens are finally pushed in. I'm not sure, I don't think they've got anything in there. I think they've just kept this out. More stuff coming in here, and their warriors containing infantry, so it's pushing in a lot more infantry. SU-27 coming in, all these infantry, there's a lot of infantry in, there's one SU-27 coming in. This is going to have a devastating effect on these infantry. Here it comes. There it goes. Boom. Destroys all those infantry. All he's got left attacking now are these chieftains. PT90s are pushing up into the forest now. They are getting weak, it seems. So LMC pushes up the BMPTs. I push up the BMPTs with a little bit of anti-air support. My BMPT decides it's going to push forward as well. I see the opportunity. So they are now actually getting flanked themselves. So it's looking... Fox is looking fairly secure. The road's still secure. General Joff surrenders. I think they realise it's pretty much over now. And Mystic surrenders as well, and it's GG. Very well played, General Joff, Mystic, and LMC. I played okay as well. Good game by all. A really nice, friendly game. Everyone congratulated each other afterwards. Really close game. Could have gone either way. Really, it was the holding that road into Foxtrot which really tipped the balance and helped us win this game. So I hope you enjoyed the game. Please do comment, subscribe and do all the rest of the bits and pieces, and I'll see you in the next video.